Maverick 100.9, Aggie Land's country alternative. It's Corliss, and so happy to be joined today by Aaron Lacombe. How have you been, Aaron?
Really good. It's been a busy summer, but things are starting to calm down a little bit.
Mine is the polar opposite. I was outrageously busy this summer and didn't think that I could physically or mentally squeeze in anymore. And then the fall hits and there's more. Trust me.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I feel the pain. It's never when you like something always happens when you're not expecting.
Every single time, but we dodge them bullets the best we can. And
Yes, ma'am.
I hear you have been a busy man putting out music, touring. Now, by the title of your new single, I have to know, where are you from? Because there ain't no Allsips in College Station.
And there aren't in Detroit either, which is where I grew up. But I did live in New Mexico for about a decade, and that's where all those memories come from.
Oh my gosh. I always forget how similar Texas and New Mexico are, at least that side of Texas,
Right.
because I never make it out that way unless I'm driving to Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a couple in Colorado now too.
Oh,
And actually, Allsup's just bought another chain called Yes Way, and they started putting their burritos in all of those, and they are now the biggest convenience store chain in the world.
oh my word, dude. Am I the only one getting the shaft over here? I'm going to start protesting that we get an Allsips. This is crazy.
I think it'll happen eventually because it's a college town, and I mean that's really the only direction left for them to go.
Gotta be. It's gotta be. Well,
Yeah.
clearly your love for those burritos is strong. Your latest single out to radio is Alsip's burrito song. Tell me about this. Let me dig in your brain a little bit before
Sure.
we take a listen.
So I had a show in Nashville on I guess a Thursday, and then a show in Roswell, New Mexico on Saturday, which is pretty doable. Or I'm sorry, no, a show in Houston on Sunday, which is pretty doable.
Okay.
But then somebody called and said, "Hey, do you want to open for James McMurtry in Roswell on Saturday?" So I said, "Of course," without even looking at a map. And so I finish up my gig in Nashville. I start hauling butt toward Roswell. I play the gig with James McMurtry. Really one of the best shows of my life. I'm glad I did it.
Right.
But a couple of songs before James has finished, I got to get on the road because I got to be in Nashville or in Houston at like 5 the next day. So I'm riding high off of a great gig that night, driving at 10 or 10:30. But I get right to the Texas-New Mexico border, and all that just comes crashing down. And I end up sleeping in my van in the Allsup's parking lot. And I'm so tired, I go to sleep immediately. But at 6 o'clock, I start smelling those burritos being cooked, wafting into the van. So I start thinking about all these great memories I had, going to the bars, and the only thing left open is also Taco Bell's closed. And, started writing this song without a guitar or anything, just singing my way down the highway. And when I got to Houston, I played the song that night at Houston, and they don't have Allsup's out there. But I was surprised how many people in the audience knew about the burritos. And I had never even played this song on a guitar before. I was just kind of making it up as I went. And people loved the song. So I just kind of I always thought it was sort of a stupid song. I mean, it is objectively a stupid song. But the more I played it for people, the more they loved it.
Take that. I mean, look at Brad Paisley. He did it a million times, just stupid song after stupid song. And
Right.
every single one of them.
So I'm not comparing myself to Guy Clark by any means, but he has that song about homegrown tomatoes, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like one silly little food item that just reminds you of, it's not really about the thing itself. It just reminds you of all this great stuff. And that's what it was for me. So I recorded it, put it out there. And of course, it's never the song you're super proud of that latches on and goes nuts. So next thing you know, Allsup's calling me and wanting me to play some grand openings.
Oh,
It just kind of went wild.
That is hilarious. Well, even for me, like sitting here griping about not having those burritos, I know exactly what they are. And I think everyone does. That's what makes it so relatable. That's going to be my favorite story of the day, bar none. That is, well, I think we have built the excitement here. And now we can debut the burrito song for the first time on Maverick 100.9. This is Aaron Lacombe. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can now find it anywhere that you stream and download music. And today's interview continues now. That was the All Sips Burrito song on Maverick 100.9 from Aaron Lacombe. He is here with me. And we were talking about funny songs. Obviously, when you wrote the All Sips Burrito song, you didn't think it was going to do anything. Now you're doing grand openings and people are singing it left and right. But that's not the only time something odd has happened with one of your songs this year. Tell me about that a little bit.
That's true. And this was an even weirder circumstance. I had a lady, she had heard my song, the laundry song, on radio in Italy. And she messaged me and said, I teach English to Italian folks by using song lyrics. Can I use your song? I said, of course, and sent her the lyrics. And a few weeks later, she sends me a video of 450 people in Rome line dancing, all choreographed to the song. So, of course, I text her back. I'm like, what the hell happened? She's like, well, a friend of mine is a choreographer, and he runs this line dancing thing, like a festival over there. And he just liked the song and used it. And so they sent me this video. So that's already pretty darn weird. But then I slapped the thing up online. I was on the road somewhere in New Mexico or Colorado at the time. Slapped it up online. Went on driving down the road. And I just checked it this morning. It's up to 22,000 likes on Facebook and 2 million views. And I've gotten fans jumping onto like my Spotify from all over Europe and Croatia, and just learning all kinds of new languages over this whole thing. It's been great.
That is so super, especially because this all started from something so humble and heartwarming. Like, who knew that your songs could be used to teach another language? We do know that a lot of people do learn languages through music. The only Spanish I know is from Selena.
What's funny about it is if you watch the video, there's almost 500 Italian people in the room. There's a line in that song about underwear, about people. There's a verse about New York City, how you can't hang your laundry on the line because people will steal your underwear. And as soon as I say the word underwear, everybody goes, hey, and starts screaming. So I'm like, well, it's working. They're learning English.
Oh my gosh, everyone, we're going to be posting the video for the laundry song. And of course, you can get the All Sips Burrito song anywhere now, but you've also got a full album out for everyone called Breaking Ground. I'm assuming not every song on Breaking Ground ends with the word song.
No, and actually I should say the like release version of the burrito thing is called Ode to the All Sips Burrito, in case anybody goes looking for it online.
Yeah.
But yeah, and actually that song isn't even on the record. I had no intention of ever releasing that song. It sort of happened. But yeah, Breaking Ground has 8 songs on it, and I'm real proud of that record. It's been out for a little over a year now, but it's done some good stuff. It's got a couple tracks on Texas radio charts. It's been good.
Well, I'm sure you are very proud of that project. So everybody go find Breaking Ground, and the Ode to the All Sips Burrito can be found separately. But Aaron Lacombe is somebody you definitely want to be following, especially since he does make his way through Texas every once in a while. So make sure you keep an eye on that. And Aaron, it's always great to catch up with you. Loved all the laughter today. You got to keep it coming.
I will do my best, and I promise you, if I'm ever headed through College Station on the way from West Texas, I'll bring some burritos with me.